Yes, man. So high.
Muslims of today, and many of them actually claim that in previous scriptures, including Bible, the coming of Prophet Muhammad, may God's peace and blessings be upon him, was prophesied. How do you back that claim? Are there specific verses in the Bible that we find prophesying the coming of Prophet Muhammad?
Yes. Yes. Now, we should understand this in the light of the way in which people have used prophecy from the Bible. Many have said that Jesus is prophesied in the Old Testament. So we say, okay, where is his name mentioned? So, and then we find his name is not actually mentioned. Some general sorts of descriptions are given about some future figure, and then one says, oh, but Jesus fits that description, so he must be the one. So in a similar vein, we can ask, okay, does Muhammad fit that sort of description? Why don't we go that further step? I mean, why do you stop only with Jesus? To give an example, there is a passage in the Song of Solomon in chapter 5, verse 16, which says, he is altogether lovely. And somebody's actually written a book about this entitled, He is Altogether Lovely, to prove that Jesus is the one. He is altogether lovely. And when we compare the descriptions that are given in that passage, they actually fit the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as well. So if it could be Jesus, why not Muhammad? Now, the phrase which says he's altogether lovely actually is a word which in Hebrew is sounded Muhammadim. So the word Muhammad is also heard when you read that word. So we should ask, why don't you think Muhammad? Why do you stop only with Jesus?
Right.
Now, in the Old Testament, it is mentioned that Moses was told by God that God will send either a series of prophets or another prophet. It's often translated, God will send another prophet in Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 18. A prophet like Moses. But some say that what is meant here is not just one prophet, but a series of prophets, but it's spoken about as though it is singular. We say, okay, suppose it's a series of prophets. Well then, it goes up until Jesus, and many have said, okay, Jesus is that prophet. Then we can say, why not Muhammad, on whom be peace? Because Muhammad is very similar to Moses. In fact, Musa alayhi salam came with a law. Muhammad, peace be upon him, came with a law. They were both prophets and statesmen at the same time. They were governing, and so they have a lot of similarity. If we come to Jesus and say Jesus is like Moses and Jesus is the prophet like Moses, well then we just need to go one step further and recognize the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as well.
I see. Are there any verses that are coming in your mind right now from Bible? You quoted Psalms, the verses, that actually reference to some individual prophesying him coming, actually, which you think is, I mean, as per our beliefs, is Prophet Muhammad.
Yes, what is very interesting is that in the New Testament, there are indications that there was someone to come after Jesus. Because, for example, Jesus is noted to have said that John the Baptist is the greatest of everyone who has been born of a woman. So that means, since Jesus is born of a woman, everybody knows that, right. John the Baptist is greater than Jesus. And John the Baptist himself says in the Gospels that after me will come one greater than I, whose greatness is such that I'm not worthy to stoop down and untie his sandals. So now, if you look at the equation, if John the Baptist is greater than Jesus, and the one to come is greater than John the Baptist, then that one is not Jesus, right?
Right.
Because greater than and equal to is not the same thing. So obviously there's one to come after John the Baptist who is greater than both John the Baptist and Jesus, according to that confession. We don't want to say, look, our prophet is greater. That's not how we go about our business. That's for Allah to select his prophets and to say that he prefers one prophet over another. But for us believers, we recognize all of the prophets. We love them all. We follow them all in principle. We follow the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, specifically because the revelation came specifically through him. But we have indication here, an indication that someone was to come after John the Baptist greater than both John the Baptist and Jesus.
Thank you.